Can you still move on the ice? Said Wolf the Dentist Stanson to Gordon Bombay before challenging him to a game of 3-bar, a non-existent hockey game that was fabricated for Disney's D2 The Mighty Ducks, a movie that you guys should all know. If you're sniffing out NHL winners, there's a rite of passage. You watch Youngblood, you watch Mystery Alaska, you watch The Mighty Ducks, you watch D2 The Mighty Ducks, and yes, you even watch D3 The Mighty Ducks, where a team that just won the gold medal, Team USA Hockey, had trouble making varsity at a local Minnesota high school.
You can still move on the ice.
But that's the way things work. Sometimes the deserving players don't make Team USA, like in D2. There was a kid who could, Luis Mendoza from Miami, couldn't stop, but somehow made Team USA. And that's not too dissimilar from the Washington Capitals beating the Kings. Sometimes in the world of hockey, the kid who can't stop apparently makes Team USA, and the team that doesn't deserve to win happens to win.
You can still move on the ice.
Hopefully, those Capitals won't do us in tonight, because we may be seeing them here in our picks, but I'm not going to start there. That's one of the late games. I'm going to start down in Tampa, where they're facing Dallas, who they played a couple days ago and got absolutely destroyed. So much to the point I was receiving texts from people saying, wow, is this the year Tampa's fully cooked? No playoffs for them? Complete embarrassment since Vasilevsky's come back. The reason I'm not scared of really good goalies in the month of October, because they're not in midseason form. You got to get to midseason form. And obviously Vasilevsky, who had surgery and just got reintroduced into the lineup, is not in that midseason form even whatsoever. However, I would imagine that after that complete embarrassment just a mere few days ago, they're going to want to repay that favor. I don't think it's going to be some blowout or anything like that, but I'm going to take Tampa to exact a little revenge from the complete 8-1 destruction that occurred at the hands of Dallas. It's not going to be an easy game. Dallas is a very good team, but I'm going to trust those guys at home. You know, I always have a little more faith in Tampa at home than I do on the road. It probably won't be easy, but this is one that I think they kind of know. Things are not going well from them. They've been getting cracked in recent games. They need a home game to make things right. I'm going to take Tampa, which is essentially that's minus 110 on both sides. Then a team that I keep mentioning them to you, and they keep going up the standings. It just hasn't meshed with our picks.
You can still move on the ice.
The Carolina Hurricanes. And for those of you, you know, we have our teams each year. The Kings are my team in the West. I thoroughly believe that the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the East. Yes, you can point to the Rangers having their great record. I saw Paul Walker lead Vin Diesel early in the original race too. That's the early NOS. Teams who have those Stanley Cup aspirations, I always believe that you start to see it more and more as the season goes on. But look at Carolina. Couple weeks go by, bam, second in the Metro. They're right back where you thought they would be. Now, I don't think I necessarily want to take them against Winnipeg, but here's what I know about Winnipeg. They've had trouble scoring, and they've been keeping pucks out of their net. We saw that 1-1 game in the third period against Edmonton. We saw a 1-1 third period against Dallas, I believe. And then it was 2-1 going into the third against Chicago. Unders. Now, the one problem with Carolina is they're receiving the worst goaltending in the entire NHL. Their save percentage is the bottom of the barrel. But I know that team knows how to play defense. I've called them goaltender proof. There's a reason I'm going to go under 6.5. When Hellebuck plays all right, and especially if they're not scoring a bunch, it's under Central with them. So I'm going to go under 6.5 for the Winnipeg-Carolina game. And then, yes, I will be betting against those Washington Capitals. Washington lost pretty handily to Vegas. The faster the team, the younger the team that you see play them, the more ripe they are for the picking. Never fantastic to rely on Arizona, but when Arizona's at home in a winnable game, just like they had a winnable game or two in this recent homestand that they're on and were able to do so, I think they could absolutely take out Washington. I prefer Arizona in this one. I'm going to get my Washington bets paid off, because trust me when I tell you, they're awful. And I will never get mad on you for taking unders with them as well, because the way they play, they sit back, they try to counter, and things can go under. I just always feel a little bit better when they're playing higher quality competition. You know, you start messing around with like the Ducks, and that one went wild. They ended up winning that one. But look at the games before that. A 2-1 loss to the Sharks, a 2-1 squeaker win with a disallowed goal to the Kings, and then what was it, a 4-1 loss to Vegas. I mean, these are not high scoring affairs. Wouldn't be surprised if this one stays under as well, but I prefer taking Arizona against Washington. And then speaking of Vegas, coming off that win, after a little bit of a bumpy ride there, they righted the ship. And I'm looking for them to continue that. Another win at home against the Blues. Perfect opportunity to utilize this Caesars same game parlay so we can knock this one down. I see them coming in at 210. I'm going to add the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Jonathan Marchessault. Now you're looking at plus 112. It's a good way, great way, unbelievable way to get a price on a team who you don't want to say, oh my God, minus 210. Okay, well, if they're going to win, I'm going to take Marchessault to register a point, and you can do that on Caesars, where your first bet will be risk-free up to $1,000 as long as you're a new user on that platform and located in a state that has Caesars, and sports betting is obviously legal. But if you or anybody you know has a gambling problem, make sure you call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. So I got Vegas there. A couple other games on the slate. Don't ask me to mess with that Pennsylvania rivalry, okay? Philly's all angry after what happened with the Niners last night, so I don't know how it's going to play out. But usually what I know about misery, it doesn't just end right there. You know how Florida State got screwed out of the top 4? And then, like, they thought that was the worst. It's like, oh, yeah, by the way, you're playing Georgia. Oh, my God. So now watch after the Niners cracked the Eagles yesterday. Now watch Pittsburgh crack Philly, because when you're down... What do they say? When a lion's down, even the ants will spit on him. Something like that. That could be completely made up. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed here to the Odd Shopper channel. Come follow me on social media, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You can still move on the ice.